Yeah, hi everyone. Let us start. Today we discuss about the parametric test, and in parametric test, in this video we will discuss about the two sample independent test and the pair t-test. So first of all, let us discuss what is the difference in the parametric test and the non-parametric test. You as a researcher, many of the time you listen about these two tests, and even some of the people ask you which test you used in your study, parametric or the non-parametric. So people, those are not very much aware about these tests, just listen the name of the parametric and non-parametric. So I think they confused at that time ki what is the answer of this question. So here we will discuss on the basic level and we will not cover the theoretical portion. After completing these definitions or the assumptions, in the assumptions in the sense I just going to tell you where we use the parametric, in which condition we use the parametric, and in which condition we do not use the parametric, we use the non-parametric test. So after discussing these assumptions, we go on the the SPSS. Practically we uh, take one problem, and in SPSS we try to get the answer, and on the basis of the answer we also try to get uh, what is the result and how to interpret this result, means how to write down this result, or how to study the result, how to analyze the result. So the first question in the mind, what is the difference in the parametric test and the non-parametric test? So very simple. In case if our data is normally distributed and homogeneous in nature, we use parametric test, and in case these two conditions are not fulfilling by our data, then we use the non-parametric test. So clear, this is the difference between the parametric and the non-parametric. In both parametric and non-parametric test, two conditions, two sample or more than two sample. In the parametric test, two sample, if we discuss about the two sample, means our data is two sample based data. There we use the independent t-test either or the pair t-test. The same we will discuss in this video, independent t-test and pair t-test, theoretical as well as the practical portion. The another side, in the non-parametric test, if we discuss about the two sample, there are two things, Mann-Whitney and the Wilson. In case of the more than two sample and we discuss about the parametric test, the conditions are either we use the ANOVA or the repeated measure ANOVA. And the same in case of the non-parametric test, Kruskal valleys or the Friedman's ANOVA test. So it's depend on the condition, and as per the condition we use any one out of these, as we discussed, either two sample or more than two sample, either parametric or the non-parametric. So in this video, as I told you, we will cover these two parts, the independent t-test and the paired t-test, and these both are the part of the two sample, and two sample we are talking about the parametric test. After completing this parametric test in first two videos, in video number 3 or 4, we will discuss about the non-parametric test two sample and the more than two sample. So let us start. First of all, we are coming on this point. What is the independent t-test? Uh, the first condition, two samples should be there in the data. The second thing, the data should be mutually exclusive, or two categories should be there. Two category like male and female, these are two categories. For example, in a class we just want to know the boys are the score of the boys are highest or the girls score, or the work efficiency in male and female, which one is better in male or female in a company or in a school, the male staff and the female staff. So mutually exclusive means uh, either you male or you female. If you are male, you are not female. So this is one condition. Two categories should be there. Two category may be male and female, boys or girls or whatever. Mainly what we do in the independent t-test, we calculate the mean between these two categories, like we have male and female. So first of all we calculate the mean of the male, then mean of the female, and after that we go for the comparison. So it's a comparative study between two categories, and these two categories are the mutually exclusive. In case of the pair t-test, how it differ from the independent t-test? Very simple. In the independent t-test there are two categories, but in the pair t-test there is one category. We try to find out the solution before and after. For example, there are few teachers, uh, their way of teaching or their attitude towards the teaching before a faculty development program and after faculty development program. So we measure it two times, the first before and then after. And after that we compare these two. So the data will be same, but it will divide it into two parts. First before implementing something, and the second after implemented something. So that is also a study, comparative study, but the difference is in independent we compare two categories, and in this one the same respondents will be same in the pair t test, but we measure these respondents two times. Remember it. In independent there are two type of respondents, the male and the female, boys or the girls. But in case of the pair t test, same respondents, but we study these respondents two times, one before the implementing something or after implemented something. So that is the main difference, these two, remember it. So next is, so let us discuss. We are talking about the independent t test. Let us take example, remember it. So let us work practically. uh, I have one file. Yeah, this is my file. We are taking one example. There are two categories. One is the on the basis of the gender, male and the female, and we mentioned the marks also at here. Let us check it. 15 male, we can say boys in the class, and 15 are the girls in the class. So there are total 30 students, 15 boys and the 15 girls. Uh, Now we calculate their mean value and we compare their mean values, and we try to find out the marks of the males are highest as compared to girls or not. So this is our study. I'm taking this example just to tell you, because to people those are on the beginner level, those are not very much familiar about the SPSS. In some of the workshops or in webinars, uh, people cover the theoretical portions, but here we discuss about the practical also. So this is one example. Gender. This is the numeric width is depend on us. A2. The label we give the what is the gender name, and we put the value one for the male and second for the female. This is one for the male and second for the female. It's up to you. You can give one to the female and second to the male. There is no missing value. This is the nominal because the gender is the part of the nominal. This is important point. You as a research scholar, when you try to work on this SPSS software, when you feed your data, at that time you should be familiar about the kind of your data. Either your data is nominal type or the ordinal type or the ratio type or whatever. So it is mandatory for you. Other, if you give the wrong selection at here, so it impact your result. Remember it, the gender is the part of the nominal data. In the second, we give the marks, numerical, and the marks is the label is the marks. Marks of a particular subject. There is no value to the marks, no missing value, and these marks are the part of the scale. This is scale type data. So here we feed the data on the basis of the variable view. This is the data view. First 15 students are the boys, and these are the marks scored by the boys in a particular subject. And these are 16 to 30 are the girls, and score their scores also. So next is, so let us check it. Remember, before compare the mean, it is mandatory either in case of the parametric test that first we have to check the normality or the homogeneous, because that is the difference between the parametric and the non-parametric test. So in the parametric test, first of all, we have to check the normality and the homogeneous factor. It is there or not. If homogeneous factor is there and normality is there, then we use independent test. In case there is no homogeneous factor or there is no normality in the data, then we go similar to this independent two-domain witness test. So remember, if these two assumptions are fulfilled by our data, we use this parametric test, the part of parametric test, the independent. Otherwise, we use this Mann-Whitney test. So let us check. First of all, we have to check our uh, this one, this normality and the homogeneous factor. Point is, why we use this Mann-Whitney test? Because the data is not fulfilling the assumptions of independent test. And what are the assumptions of the independent test? Data should be normal and homogeneous factor should be there. So let us start. First of all, we have to check these two conditions, the normality level, homogeneous level. Then we go for the independent t-test. So go on the analyze. This is our data. Compare mean. But right now we will not use this compare mean. We come later on the compare mean when we try to analyze the independent sample test. First of all, we have to go on the descriptive statistic, explore. Show the gender and the marks. So next is point is these are the marks and this is the gender. Gender is the part of the factor list and the marks will be within the independent list. So let us check statistic descriptive and it's okay. And the plots, come on the plots, vector level stream, and if we required histogram we can select it, otherwise no need to select it, because we are going to check just normality and the second is the homogeneous factors. You select it and this normality plots also select continuous and then we get the result. So this is our result. What is your gender, case processing summary, and this is the descriptive summary. See, let us check it. In case of the male and the female, the marks of the male and the females, total number was the 15. The valid percentage is complete. There is no missing value, 0%, 0%, and total is without any doubt, and 15 and 15 and the 100%. So it's clear there is no missing value. Now come on the descriptive. The mean value is the 68. The standard error is 3.05. 95% male, they come under the 75 and the 62. Means in case of the male, we are talking about the marks of the male. The upper limit of the 95% of the male, the upper limit is the 75 and the lower limit is the 62%. And the rest of the 5% covered around 68.4259. That is the mean value of 5%. So this is the median, the standard deviation, minimum, maximum, skewness, range, all are here. Same in case of the female also. Uh, Female, the mean is the 63. The 95% female covered the marks. The upper is the 70 and the lower is the 56. I'm talking about the 95% female out of total. They are under this criteria, this category 70 to 56. Then the 5%, this one, median, variance, standard deviation, all are the results. So now check the test of the normality. This is the normality test. The significance value is 0.200, 0.200 in case of the both male and the female, their marks. This is the 20.20, 0.20. So let us check the value, significance value. That should be two conditions are here. Either it come more than 0.05 or less than 0.05. So let us check it here. This is the significant value in both of the case, male and female. They are 0.200, 0.200. 0.200 in both of the case are more than 0.05. Remember it, the value is 0.0. Either it's more than 0.05 or less than 0.05. If the value is more than 0.05, if the significance value, it means the data is normal. And in case the value of this significance value if come less than the 0.05, so data is not in the normal condition. But in our case, data is normal. We check the normality of the data and the value, both of the value are more than 0.05. It means data is in the normal condition. The next point is test of the homogeneity of the variance. Check it. So let us start. Check it. Very simple. This is the normality test, and this table is fulfilling the normality, the condition of the normality distribution. Test of homogeneity means the significance value of the mean is the 0.938 based on the mean. So this value is also more than the 0.05. So the same condition, if the value is more than 0.05, it means the test of homogeneity can apply. If value should come less than the 0.05, it means the homogeneity factors are not there. But in our condition, it's okay. We can implement the parametric test. We can go further for the independent t-test. So let us try to implement to use the next test. Again, we go on the analyze, compare mean. In the compare mean, go on the independent. Remember, we are working about this one. We are talking about what exactly? The independent t-test, whether the marks in a particular subject of boys in a class is equal to the marks of girls. So we just try to find out the boys marks are equal to the girls or not. So to get the answer, we collect the data from the 15 boys and the 15 girls and we compare. We go for the comparative study about their marks, and that's why we use, first of all, we check normality and homogeneity is not is there or not. And as per our result, we find that both are there, both assumptions fulfilled at here. So that's why we are using the independent t-test. Otherwise, we go for the Mann-Whitney test. So remember it. So let us come back. This is our test. Analyze, compare mean, independent sample test, the grouping, the gender, define groups. The one value for the boys, the male, and the second for the girls. Okay, the marks at here. The next is the okay. So let us check it. First of all, the group statistic, marks male and female. In the male 15, female 15, because as per the statement there are 15 boys, 15 girls. The next, the mean value of the male 68, means the average of 15 boys students, their marks, the average of their marks 68.73, and in case of the female or the girls 63.33. This is the standard error mean. Remember one thing, as we are doing the independent t-test, and I told you that the independent t-test is the comparative study of two categories or two mean. So as we are doing the independent t-test, so compare will be always, the difference will be always there in the mean values of two categories. But point is how to calculate this comparison or the compare value. The p with the help of the p value we can calculate these two. So let us discuss about this one. Independent sample Levenet test of the equity of variance. In case of the marks, there are two conditions. The first is the equal variance assumed, and the second is the equal variance is not assumed. So first point is either we take this one or this one. So first we try to take this equal variances assumed, and if it fulfilled our condition we take it. If it's not fulfilling our condition, then we go on the second one, the equal variances not assumed. So what is this fulfill the conditions? Very simple. This is the value, the significant value 0.938. Check it. This value, if this value is more than 0.05, then it's okay, we take equal variances assumed. And if the value is less than 0.05, then we leave it and we come on the next one, the equal variances not assumed. So in this condition we take it, it's okay, it's fulfilling the condition, so we take this one, the first one. Actually this value is non-significant. If the value is more than 0.05, that is non-significant value, and if the value is less than 0.05, that is the significant value. So to fulfill this condition, it should be in the condition of non-significant. If it's non-significant, we select it, we choose it. If it's significant, then we go on the next one. Remember it. The next is, now we select this one. The t value is this. The degree of freedom is 28. The significant 0.244. So now it give the output. If the value is if the value is less than 0.05, it means, because again I'm telling you, if it is less than 0.05, it means there is significant difference in the marks of the boys and the girls. But in our condition, this value is more than 0.05, it means there is no significant difference in the marks of the students, the marks of the male and the female. So this is our result. The second way to calculate the value of the significant, it is significant or not, we compare the lower and the upper case. Either they both should be in the positive manners or the negative manners. One is the positive, one is the negative. We can say it's non-significant. But no need to go for this one. This is the second option. The first option is we have to calculate on the basis of this value. If the value is less than 0.05, it means there is significant difference, and if the value is more than 0.5, it means there is no significant difference. So this is our result. there is no significant difference in the marks of the boys and the girls. So let's write the result. Now the point is for the research scholars when they work on their PhD, how to write this result, how to interpret it. Let us go. I'm talking about the result. The result. So what is the result of our study? On average, male students getting marks. So let us calculate. Then female students, again the percentage and the whole. What is our result? Our result was first we calculate all these things. Let us go back on our result. Let us check it. The male marks mean is the, see, this is the 68.73 and female 63.33. Again we have to go there. So the male marks are 68.73. M is the 68.733. And the standard error in case of the boys, that is the 3.05. 3.05. The another side, the female, the marks percentage is, it was something 63.33. The mean value, sorry, the mean of the females, this one, and the standard error of the female was the, it was 3.3 3.34. 3.34. The T, then this difference is non-significant. Non-significant, where where T is, the value of T was what? 1.19. This is the 1.19 or 30, 28, total 30. The degree of freedom was, the degree of freedom H, the T value is 1, that is the T value 1.19. So the T value is 1.19. 1.19. Degree of freedom is 28. So the value is more than this T value is more than 0.05. That's why what we write down at here, this difference is non-significant. If the value should come less than 0.05, so what outcome will be there? This difference is the significant, but right now this difference is non-significant. So this is the interpretation on the basis of this result. I think it's clear to all of you how to calculate the independent t-test and where we use this independent t-test. This independent t-test is that part of the parametric test, and in the parametric test, if there are two categories, one male, female, or some other the senior manager or the junior manager or some other categories if there, and we just want to compare these two categories. So if we want to compare these two categories, then next step what will come, we check the normality and the homogeneity. If these two assumptions are okay, fulfilling these two assumptions, we go for the independent t-test. If they are not fulfilling these two assumptions, we go for the जो है man Whitney. So in this case, we use the independent t-test, and this is our result. First, we check the normality, then we check the homogeneity factors. Both conditions are okay. Then we go for the independent t-test, and this is our result. The result is saying there is the difference is the non-significant because the p-value is more than 0.05. This is the p-value. The p-value is more than 0.05. That's why the difference is the non-significant. So this is the result of the independent t-test. In the same video, let us discuss about the next point, that is the paired t-test. As I told you that we discuss about these two factors at here. The second factor is the paired t-test, and I told you that paired t-test is what, the same respondents are there, and we check them before implementing something and after implemented something. Suppose there are some faculty members, their attitude or their working behavior before attending a faculty development program, and then their behavior and attitude after attending one program. So before and after, that is the study, that data will be the same in case of the paired t-test. So let us discuss about this one. The second one, how to work on this, the same. So first we have to get this is the table I prepared. This is the variable view and the data view same. The before and the after the result, what we use before sale, after sales promotion. So what kind of data I have, I prepared this data for the demo purpose. I prepared two things on the basis of the scale. Let us discuss. This is the statement. We are talking about the pair t test, whether the sale of a particular product raise after promotions or not. Compare the sale before the promotional activities and the after promotional activities on the 1 to 5 scale. Means strong agree and disagree. So before the promotion and after the promotion, there is an impact on the sale or not. Let us check with the help of the paired t-test. So let us come on the table on the result. This is our table. These are the score before promotional activities. There are 15. Um, we can say this is the sale of the 15 shopkeepers, and these sales are before starting the promotional activities, and these are the sales after completing the promotional activities. And the same we go with in case of the our variable view. This is before and after numeric weight, that decimal, the label we give before sales and the after sales promotion. There is no missing value. Both are on the basis of the scale. That is very important. You as a research scholar should be familiar with this thing. What we use at here, the ordinal, nominal, ratio or interval, whatever. So this is the interval scale. So let us calculate the result. Come here again. Before going to check the to test the paired t-test, we have to check their normality and the. Again, told you one. Again I tell you one thing. If the assumptions, these two assumptions should not be complete, we go for this one. Let us check it how it actually work out. Hmm, go for the descriptive explore, because we are going to check the normality and the homogeneous factor. So let us try. I think yeah, this is before and after, so there is no category, so that's why we not go for the homogeneity factor. We just check the normality. This before sales promotion dependent list, and the same after is also in the independent list. Why we put both in the dependent list? Why something not in came in the factor list? Because there is no category. I told you in the in case of the independent test there are two, there will be two categories, the male and the female, like that. But in case of this category one be same, respondent are same type, no no difference on the homogeneity basis. Just we just check it before and after. So that's why both are come at here. We go in the statistic. M stream outlier percentage is okay. Let us go on the plots also. So histogram, if you required, click it. Otherwise, no need. How to check the normality? Either we check it is with the help of the histogram, or the second option we check the normality to select it. So this is the way, and histogram we can do, and then continuous and okay. So what is the result? This is our result before sales promotion, after sales promotion, 15 15. Why 15 15? Let us check it. Whether the sale of a particular product raise after compare the sales before. Oh, we not mentioned at here. There are, I think I told you at here, 15 shopkeepers. Yes, 15 shopkeepers before and after. So that's why the n value is the 15 15%. Valid is the 100%. 100. There is no missing value. Then total is this one. So next, let us come on the descriptive analysis. So this is the result in case of the before sales promotion. The 95% of the result come under this limit. The lower 27 and the upper marks the 32. And in case of the after sales, this is also lower and the upper case. The mean value, the skewness, all the results are here. Check the normality. Before sales promotion, after sales promotion, the degree of freedoms are 15 15, and this is the significant value. This one is the 200 and the 200. So the same thing we discussed, that the significance value should be more than zero point zero 0.05. If the value is more than 0.05, it means it's fulfilling the these assumptions, or if it is less than, then it cannot fulfill. But our value is in both of the case, before sales promotion and after sales promotion, that is the point more than 0.05. It means um, the value is the desirable, and that this is the normality test is okay. So if the normality test is okay, we get the desirable result. So let us go for the next one, that is the paired sample test. Remember, we are working on the paired sample test. Before that, we worked on the independent sample t-test. So this one, variable 1, variable 2. Go for the option. Okay. Let us check the any missing value was there or not. Let us check at first. There is no missing value, I think. Let us check the missing value at first. As remembered, there was no missing value. Everything was okay. That's why if the things are okay, so it's okay. Otherwise, if there is any missing value, we select this exclude cases list-wise. But no need to go for this. Okay. And calculating standard deviation of the difference. So after this, okay. So this is our result. So let us check pair one before sales promotion, after sales promotion, the mean before sales promotion is for the mean of 15 shopkeepers, we can say that is the 30, and after sales promotion that is the 32. This is the standard deviation before sales promotion, after sales promotion, and the same is the standard error. And the correlation is that is in the positive, it means there is correlation. Some improvement is there. We can say that there is some effect of this promotion activities on the sales. This correlation figure is showing. Next, paired sample test. This is the paired sample test. Before sales promotion, after sales promotion, the mean value is minus 2.4666. Standard deviation. Let us come on these three things, because when we write our report, so we require these three parts. The t value is this one, the degree of freedom, and the significant test is less than. It means there is this result. What this result is showing? This result is showing there is impact of promotion on the sales. Means if we do promotion, sales will increase. So there is impact of the promotion on the sales. This result is showing. The same we can write down on our report. That how we write it? We write it that we take samples of 15 shopkeepers. Their mean value was this is the mean value, and after this is also the mean value after sales promotion. The standard errors are here, 1.17 and 1.29. There is positive correlation between these two, and after that we can write that the t value is this one, the degree of freedom is this, and the last, it's okay, favorable result, or we can say that after promotion it's give us the positive results. So I think it's clear to all of you. In this video we covered 2 points: independent t-test and the paired t-test. In the next video we discussed about the next one. So I think it's all clear to all of you. It was the point. Let us come back on the point. The parametric test, two sample. If there are two samples, then two conditions will be there: the independent and the paired t-test. In the independent, point is two categories. In the paired, one type of respondents, but before impact and after impact. So this is all about this video. Thank you.